Hello everyone, hi, welcome to the channel of Wall Street Mojo. Watch the video till the end, and also if you are new to this channel, then you can subscribe us by clicking the bell icon. Friends, we are going to discuss a tutorial on equity research versus a credit research analysis. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of the same and understand what is good for you and what is not. So if you are really keen of making your career as a financial analyst, then the two areas stand out within finance: equity research and credit research, both. See, broadly speaking, equity research deals with stocks and stock market. Let me get to you through the Excel. If you see equity research, I'll just write over here equity research, credit research. So equity research basically deals with, broadly speaking, with stocks and stock markets, while credit research looks at the more of bond market. Okay, in this in-depth tutorial, we'll compare and contrast the key differences that is between the two career choices, equity research and credit research. Now, the first difference that we are going to analyze is the conceptual difference. See, at the very inception, we would like to start with helping you to understand the conceptual difference between the two. If we see about equity research, what do you understand by equity research? What is the concept of equity research? Let's just get some info about the same. See, to start with the equity research, it is about finding the valuation of a company, and mind you that which is listed company on the stock exchange. Second, once you have decided on the company, you look at its economical aspects and stability and growth, which can be GDP, its rate of growth, its competition, and the size of the market or the industry. Once the economics is understood, you get into the financial statement, balance sheet, and from its historical performance. Now you do the comparison of the past performance with the current performance, which is known as the financial statement analysis, that is FSA. Based on the management result on the historical performance and industrial performance, you use the equity calculation using the financial modeling. The fair price of the company has been calculated, and the equity researchers play an important role in filling in the information gap between the buyer and the seller. The main job of an equity research is to spend a lot of time and energy on most important thing, researching about the stocks. Summarizing the equity research, we can say that it researches the stock or the share price of the registered company. Now let's take credit research. See, however, credit research is more about bonds and interest rates. It is much more technical and complex. You can say this is technical and complex. And in comparison to equity research, credit research is categorized under the fixed income category, which is known as FI, fixed income. First, credit research is based on 5 fundamentals. Okay, the starting with the rivalry with the industry, you can also call it as a competition. So the first one is competition, the basically between the companies of the industry. The second is the fundamental, which is the bargaining power of the customer, and then comes this was the second one. The competition was the first, second was the fundamental, the third was the bargaining power of the customers, then the bargaining power of the supplier, and then we have the final threat of the substitute of the products. Finally, we have a threat of the new product launches or the new entries. Second, the analysis of the issuer is the next job. Okay, that is your analysis portion of the issuer is the next job of the credit researcher. When you study about the issuer's credit analysis, you include the study of the issuer's financial statement. Here the financial flexibility in this scenario and liquidity is extremely important because the bonds and debentures are said to be the most liquid products of the investors. The key factors of the study and analysis include rating of the company, the net debt of the company, the earning of the company before taxes and depreciation, and the amortization for the last 12 months. Okay, so or one of the year, you can also call it as EBITDA, or you can call it as EBITDA interest, which is known as interest earning before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization coverage, and the net debt on the EBITDA funds from the operations upon the net debt. See, the debt upon capital, and finally the 5-year credit default swaps or CDS. So however, the consideration for the differ within the industry. See, after considering the basic fundamentals and doing the issuers analysis, it is very important to do their security analysis. So the next consideration, that is analyzing the views of the specific issues, for example like bonds or loans, examining the capital structures, and the process of the capital structure is important for it well, it will help you understand the position of the company in the resolution stage, then to the shock stage, and finally to the recovery stage. So in the current market, the level of the bank debts have increased in comparison to the unsecured debt. Therefore, during the time of the deep recession, the credit analysts expect lesser recovery. Okay, lesser recovery rate, and in the downturn, okay, in that case, and hence you need to understand the problem arising in the bond documentation. Finally, the reason behind any credit research is to add the value in various ways of different sectors and different security selection in order to avoid black holes and defaults and high value generation. See, the researchers use the traffic light system in order to recommend investing in the bonds documentation. For example, green light, I'll just write below this, like green light is given to the issuer whose operations are considered to be at to be least at risk for the investors, whereas yellow light over there is given to the issuer whose bonds are comparatively a little more risky than the green issuers, whereas the red light, as the name and the color itself suggests, red light issuer is the most risky issuer in the market for the investing for investing in. So to summarize the credit research, we can say that its analysis revolves around the documentation of the bonds of the issuer. Now, what are the prerequisites in the career that is required? So I'm writing the career portion over here. See, we can give you idea about what you require to become one of the professionals in this area. As an equity research, to start with, the educational qualification is important. To become an equity researcher, you first need to have your bachelor's. That is the most important thing. Post that, any degree would be really helpful, like MBA or CFA would really add a qualification, is an added qualification. You require a very strong analytical skills, understanding the relevant valuation techniques and DCF modeling, financial modeling, report writing. So all those will play a very major role in this particular scenario, like mathematics and accounting techniques. So you need to be very good with verbal as well as the written skills, because you will need to write various reports, and fluency in communication will really be helpful. You need to be very good with your MS Office, that is like Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Word, everything. And handling with Bloomberg will be really plus in this case. Some basic criteria are good time management skills, clearly priority of understanding, along with being able to handle multiple projects at the same time. Let's see, in case of the credit research, candidates interested in the profile should have a certain set of the interest, also educational background. So we have listed, some of the prerequisites required in a candidate for caption profile. So it can be degrees like such as CA, that is chartered accountant. The cost accountant can also be like ICWA. Then you have CMA, that is the cost and management accountant. MBA can really be helpful, and other postgraduate degree in the field of the finance is an added benefit to this course. You should be interested in the performing credit research appraisal along with the practice in the best practice of the course. Interest in generating better trade ideas would be really great plus, you can say. And you must be interested in building and maintaining various credit risk model. That will be really be helpful. One of your most important role will be analyzing and studying the debt and loan portfolio performance of the issuer. So you need to streamline the quantitative research for the rate of interest or the ROI. So, and you will have to enhance the Basel based rating system, that will be only be internal. Of course, if you are a credit analyst, you will have to have recommendation relating to, you can say, to lending and investments related. Finally, you will have to design the credit strategies and credit portfolio. Let's see the fourth difference, that is the employment outlook. Let's understand the employment outlook. If you see, for equity research, as a market has been growing, so have the scope of the employment. Hence, the market in general is expecting a huge growth in demand of equity research. So this is because to mitigate the risk, the use of the quantitative models of strategies is becoming very important. Mostly the companies have been focusing on the, you can say, quantitative data over qualitative data as a financial information has become important to solve problems. Some of the biggest employers in this are JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse. You have Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, then you have HSBC, Barclays, and so on and so forth. In case of credit research, the requirement for the position of the credit analyst has been very less and has been decreasing since 2004. In fact, the dip has been more than almost close enough to 6% globally, with an average dip of 1.1% annually. Okay, So, however, with the improving market, the demand for the caption profile is expected to increase. So the market is expecting about more than 21,000 openings for the designation of credit analysis, which means that new positions for the job role of credit research will increase by around 4.4% annually by the year of 2018. So companies hiring credit research are like Deutsche Bank, Barclays do hire, Standard Chartered, HSBC, you have Citi. So these are some of the companies that they hire. Now let's see the salary prospect, which every candidate is interested in. Let's give you an idea as to what should you expect out of the career you choose. So if you go for equity research, and equity research you can earn as a junior analyst in the start of your career. You will start not less than around $45,000 to $50,000 annually as your base salary. Compensation and allowance changes with the companies. Associate, as in, if you are basically an associate, then in that scenario, you as you grow in your experience and your wages increases with your experience, you may draw anywhere close between 65,000 to $90,000 annually, along with about 50 to 100% as a part of bonus. As a senior analyst, your salary, you can say, annual package may increase up to 1,25,000 to $2,50,000, including a bonus anywhere close to 2 to 5 times the basic salary. Now, if we compare the same for credit research, then that is with this course and only bachelor's degree, you can start your career with a handsome average package of around $67,000 annually. So let's see some of the career pros and cons in both the cases. Let's see the pros of equity research. See, the starting package and the future package seems to be very good. That is, the remuneration is really good and healthy. Various career options are open for equity researcher. For he can either work as an employer or as a professional, and he has an out of the idea of the market basically. The cons over here in this particular case is that he spends his life, all time and energy in basically stock research. Okay, and his job includes a lot of responsibility, as a little calculation mismatch can cost the companies and his investors a lot, resulting in his career loss. If you see, in case of the credit research, the pros are the great job growth over here, and you can say the opportunities are expected in coming 5 to 6 years down the line. Great salary package to start with, and also very big companies to hire, so you can say the REM is really good. Different job opportunities to choose from along the options of the industries. If you see on the side of the cons, it might be very hectic job profile, spending more than around 40 hours a week at a work. Again, a very risky job over here, or a job with a high responsibility for calculation needs to be very accurate. Okay, the next that we are going to see the life balance over here. If you see the life balance in this case, equity research job are really very hectic. It starts with around 7 a.m. and that is before the market starts. 9 starting with the morning meeting right up to the following the market, from client's request, discussion to closure of the market, and even after the market closes, working on the research pieces for the publication. So as an equity researcher finishes job around 7:30 to 8 in the evening, close enough to 8 in the evening, which is spending more than around 12 hours a day. The job is quite tough and demanding. In case of credit research, however, if you see, credit researcher's job does not work in accordance with the market, hence he need not report on to work that early in the morning. Yet his job is not that easy, as he needs to research the data and financial status of the companies or issuer of the bonds. So his research work does not need a lot of time. Even a credit researcher spends more than 40 hours a week at his workplace. Both the jobs are equally demanding, as they involve huge financial risk for their calculations, and any mistake can cause them a lot of financial loss and also their careers. So now, what to choose? In case of equity research, the job of the analyst sounds like a dream job for a candidate passionate about money in the market. However, it isn't easy to job to do. If you are willing to spend most of your life working surrounded with the hell number of challenges, you must consider this as a career. No doubt it provides you amazing growth both as a career wise and money wise. It also provides you excellent exit opportunities too. But if you see the credit research, if you are ready to do a stressful job and play with the facts and figures of the companies, take decisions, predict interest rates and give recommendations, then this is a job for you. Remember that this job is not easy job or job that can be taken as casually. It is demanding job that needs to do a lot of both hard and smart work. So that's it for this particular topic. If you have learned and enjoyed watching this video, please like and comment on this video and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. Thank you, everyone. Cheers.